Have you ever fallen in love with a client?
No. I mean, like, in tiny ways, like micro loves. Like,
Have you ever fallen in love?
I mean, I don't know what it means, but probably. The thing that other people say when they say fall in love is probably something I've experienced.
What do you think they mean?
Um,
What is love, Ayla?
yeah, I know.
No.
It's a fantastic question. I think so. Love is one of those words that refers to like a billion different concepts,
Yeah.
and I think we maybe should just taboo the term to have a better understanding of what we're referring to. Because there's things like feeling like intense attachment. There's something feeling like soulfully aligned. There's like sexual attraction. There's like
Are you
excitement.
talking to me and saying we should taboo the term love
Maybe
in this conversation? How dare you? No. Yeah, well, okay. Romantic love.
To make it flourish into lots of other new definitions.
Okay, thank you.
We're
Let's
expanding
limit.
love.
It sounds like you're censoring the most important word. This is like 1984 all over again. Okay. Also on the book reading list. No, okay. Listen, no, romantic love, like a deep intimacy for somebody else, like a deep connection with a human being that is also, I mean, yeah, with polyamory, it's tricky. And your relationship with sex is also tricky. So like, what's the difference between a deep friendship and a friendship that also has a sexual component?
I remember being very confused about that when I did a lot of LSD. I was like, what? The line between romantic relationships and everything else kind of got blurred. I was like, oh, I'm just like in intimacy.
Yeah.
And some intimacies mean that you spend your life together more and have sex, but like the same basic thing is there. Like you're seeing someone for like who they are.
Do you think you can be, if you're heterosexual, do you think you could be really deeply close friends with a guy and not have sexual relations with him?
I assume it's possible. Like if anything is ever possible, then probably yeah. Like
Well, everything is possible. Time travel is possible. Quantum mechanics makes traveling faster than the speed of light is possible, according to general relativity. Everything is possible. So you're saying there's a chance. Dumb and Dumber has taught me that everything is fucking possible.
It's probably not super likely, assuming that they are like attracted to each other.
Yeah. And for somebody that does surveys and statistical analysis, we're interested in like what's the likely thing here versus like what's possible.
If you say possible, it's like anything's open.
Did you just avoid answering the love thing? Okay.
I have a lot to say about love. I just like to be precise.
Yeah. Okay. Let's be precisely imprecise and continue.
Oh, sorry, that's my phone.
It feels like a passive-aggressive suggestion that we shouldn't talk about love anymore, but we shall continue.
No, we should absolutely talk about love. It's just the term is very confusing because it's like some people say the word love and the thing that they're thinking of is like, oh, the butterfly is like the sparkle thing that I get in my stomach when I think about my loved one. But I study relationships over time. I just really, like, I did a survey about it, and that sparkle goes away within like 2 to 4 years. But people still report loving their partner after that. So I'm like, okay, like when you say the word love, like what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
I just want to get on the same page.
Okay. So what are the different, so the butterflies, boy, I'd like to push back on 2 to 4 years on the butterflies, but okay.
I mean, statistically, not everybody.
Butterflies don't give a fuck about statistics. You ever heard of the flap of a butterfly wing causing like nuclear war? How do you describe that with your statistics? Okay. So butterflies, that's the basic infatuation, the chemistry of the initial interactions. Sure. But a deep, meaningful connection, like that feels like sexuality is a component of that. Like the kind of intimacy that's only possible when you're also sexual with another human being. On top of that, you have the butterfly. And on top of that, you have the friendship. And on top of that, you have like, what is that? That's a sandwich full of
the love sandwich.
The love sandwich.
Okay, I'm down to call it a love sandwich.
Okay. Would you call sandwich? LS. Okay. What role does that play in the human condition? Like,
keep asking about the human condition. It's an interesting phrase.
Yeah.
I'm like this is like not a phrase that's common in my own thinking.
Sure. Human condition is a good summary. You know, what do you think? What do you feel when I say human condition?
I ask very different kinds of questions than you.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is interesting. I've been trying to like figure out like what kind of brain like you have is like creating like this category of question. Which is why I was like saying like there's something about a poetic narrative in there.
Yeah.
Because it's very like aesthetic. I think you have asked much more aesthetic questions than I do.
I don't even know what the word aesthetic means, really.
Like artistic.
Artistic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know what aesthetic means, but I also don't know what it means. It's kind of like the word love. Aesthetic perspective. Yeah. Well, but part of it in conversation, you don't want to ask a question that has an answer fully, always.
Like, do you have an example of a question that has?
What's the meaning of has an answer?
Yeah, like one that you say was like, that's like a bad question because it has an answer.
How many sexual partners you had in the last year?
Oh my God, that's such a. Okay, I feel like we just like got to some sort of crux about like the kinds of questions that we like to answer.
Sure.
Because I would love that question.
Okay, right.
To ask it of people.
All right, but does that really tell the story?
Okay.
Of what you felt over the past year?
That's true. But then I could just tell you. Okay, so by when you're saying the kinds of questions that you like, the ones that don't have an answer, by not an answer, you mean like not an answer where you can know that you're done telling it. Is that
you can escape having to think by actually answering it?
I see.
Yeah. The struggle is the place where we discover something, not the destination. Yeah. Consensual.
Okay. It's working. Okay, so what is the role of the love sandwich in the human condition?
Okay, that's fine. I take that question, but it's a stupid question.
You don't have to. I'm ready to try.
Do you like love? Do you personally like
love? Yeah, I mean, I think like there's a part of me that feels like I have unconditional love for all things. Like when you're talking about the glass being beautiful, I've felt that. It's like that feels like it felt like it rang something that like I have a similar resonance in me for that.
If I were to circle right now, I feel like you're avoiding the love question, the love sandwich question. What's your own personal feeling towards loving another human being versus having sex with another human being?
Love is like one of the concepts that dissolved for me a long time ago. So I have difficulty directly answering it.
Sure.
But I have the experience. When you describe the love sandwich, I feel like I have had that experience. I have it currently for some people also. Like I'm dating people and I have that. So
people who you date, you would describe sharing a love sandwich with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does I mean, that's great to hear. So are you afraid of love?
No, not at all.